Hey, I'm Tiger Lily, but I'd prefer if you call me Dara. You've come to the right place if you want to see behind the scenes of the life of a DJ, a passionate vegan, and a crazy dog mum. Welcome to my channel. Don't be a stranger. Come say hi. Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dara, you may know me as Tiger Lily, and welcome to 2020. How exciting, it's a brand new decade, which means lots of thinking about manifestations and intentions and resolutions and all this different stuff. It's an exciting time, but it can be a little bit of an overwhelming time as well. I feel like every year at the end of the year, I always want to set time aside to do some intention setting and reflection, but it can be quite difficult because this time of year is also full of boozing and partying and eating and families and friends over, and it's really crazy, so it can be kind of overwhelming. So often for me, January is when I'm able to sit down and do some, I suppose, more deep reflection on what's going on. However, this year I've been lucky enough to set aside a little bit of time, and I wanted to chat to you guys about New Year's intentions and I suppose resolutions or manifestations, whatever you want to call it. I always used to say that it was going to be a New Year's resolution, and then I read like a quote on Instagram somewhere in the ether of the internet, and it was talking about setting intentions as opposed to resolutions, and that word is a lot softer and a lot less rigid, and I really liked that. So I have pulled up my intentions for 2019, and I wanted to walk you guys through it. And in reflecting on what I wrote last year, it's clear to me that I was like in this space where I was really motivated and like really wanting to kick ass, but I wasn't actually being realistic with my intentions. And so reading through this, I could be a little bit disappointed because I was like, shit, I didn't do 80% of these. But then I think you also need to, well, it's a good thing to do, to write unrealistic expectations for your intentions and then reflect on that and be like, okay, this year I'm going to be a lot more gentle. Someone who I look up to so much, my boyfriend, never sets any New Year's resolutions or intentions. He's like, if I'm going to do something, I've got to just do it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to take action. And I really like that. But he is a very specific type of personality, and I'm very opposite to that. So I thought we'd just dive straight in. I kid you not, there's like 3 pages here. So I think an important thing to do, which I did last year, was reflecting on the 2018 highs and lows before you move into the new intentions for the new year. So I'll share a couple of my highs and lows from 2018. So highs were getting Lenny, moving in with Scott into a house that we love, getting a new employee, discovering essential oils, traveling to Tasmania and New Zealand, and finding a gym that I loved. Lows were struggling with my mental health and feeling a bit alone and unhappy. Hurting my knee in a skiing accident and having ongoing problems, becoming really sick in Bali, and not enjoying overseas travel with work. So there's definitely some consistent themes there. Anyway, I broke down my intentions for 2019 into different sections. I did personal growth, health and fitness, business, career, money, love, relationships, and adventure and play. If you'd like any help with like kind of these categories, I've actually just done a blog post online which asks you some rhetorical questions about you and your life, and it can kind of help you create some intentions. So I'm going to show you this screen, and you can see how I went so OTT with my intentions. So I hope you guys can see this, but this is how many there were. That was a lot. So with personal growth, I wanted to do more meditation, more visualization, more simplicity, more nurturing and trust, more reading. I wanted to step outside my comfort zone. I wanted to do monthly goals. I did some of those, but I would say I did 20% of them. Like I did step outside my comfort zone by learning to surf and going on like a retreat that I knew no one there. I did definitely lean into nurturing and trusting of my body, which was able to heal my skiing accident knee problem. And I did definitely create a little bit more simplicity in my life, which is awesome. But then a lot of the other ones I didn't really hit, which is okay. With my health, wanted to do more yoga, more celery juice, regular saunas, get more regular blood tests, move over to filtered water. I did half of them, which is pretty good. Specific physical goals. Now, I didn't get any of these. Literally, not one. They were handstand for 1 minute, heels to floor on downward facing dog, pancake, deadlift 120, squat 180, and 2 laps around the wakeboard park. I got 0 of those physical goals. And so I think with this year, with my physical intentions, what I'm gonna actually do, I downloaded an app. I would show you, but I'm using my phone to record this video, and it's about creating habits and practice. And I'm going to just try and do like 5 minutes of a thing a day. So like 5 minutes of handstands a day, 5 minutes of reading a day. And if I feel like I'm in my flow and I want to do more of that, then I'll do that, as opposed to saying, do a handstand for 1 minute by the end of the year. Anyway, I could continue on with these, but I'm just going to leave it there. The main point that I wanted to, I suppose, address by bringing that up is that you don't need to write 3 pages of intentions for the new year, because you look at mine, some of them I did, some of them I definitely didn't, and I'm not even kidding you, I don't think I looked at that for the rest of the year. Like, so that obviously does not work for me. I'm sure there are really helpful YouTube videos on how to set really great accountable New Year's resolutions, intentions. This is not one of those videos. I'm learning with you guys. So I think one of the main concepts that I was trying to focus on this year in my life was joy, but in doing so, I noticed that I was getting anxious if I wasn't joyful. So I'd be like, I want to be joyful, but then if I'm not joyful, I was getting upset at myself that I wasn't joyful. So this is something that I kind of wanted to address that can be a sticky problem, which I've kind of said before. You know, you set 10 goals and you only achieve 2 and you're going to be disappointed with yourself. I think it's better to kind of have that like ideal, you know, I want to experience more joy, but instead of getting upset at yourself when you don't, I think what I need to do this year is to concentrate on activities or things or people that bring me joy and focus on spending more time with them to let it come more naturally, as opposed to forcing joy, because it's not something that can really be forced. Another thing I wanted to touch on was for my year next year. So there's the joy concept, which is figuring out what brings me joy and then focusing on those things. And the second thing was, I've always said with my work, because I'm really busy, it's like, I want to be less busy, I want to do less, I want to rest more. But my body actually really enjoys being busy and my mind really enjoys being busy. So this year I've decided to just say fuck it and go with the flow. And if I'm busy, just thrive in that busyness and love it. Because I know that there's so many people out there who want to be busy and aren't. So for the next at least couple years, I think, of my career, I'm definitely just going to accept the busyness and kind of go with that flow and see where that brings me. But in saying that, I attempted to have scheduled days off toward the end of this year, and then as we got busier and busier, it just totally failed. So I'm going to try and have a scheduled day off each week during the week. Just time for me to, you know, see family, see friends, clean my house, blah, blah, blah. And then another thing I wanted to touch on was one of the goals for 2019 was to read more books, and I had a full list of books that I wanted to read. And I read none of them. I started like 2 of them. Perfect. So really not killing it. And so instead this year, what I've done is with a couple of my girlfriends, inspired by my beautiful EA / co-worker, Belle, I have created a book club with them. And we're going to do a book club once a month. So at like the last week of the month, we're going to do a book club and we each have to read a book, the same book, and then come and talk about it at the end of the month. Because I realized writing a list of 12 different books, surprise, surprise, doesn't work. I'm just not going to read them. So if I have some like accountability with my friends, I'm hoping that that might be a little bit more helpful. So I think my main point in this video is setting New Year's intentions is really awesome. Reflecting on the year that you have just had and reflecting on your highs and lows, your strengths, your weaknesses, what made you feel really good, what made you feel really crappy is a really great way to start with your intention setting for the next year. But then the second thing that I wanted to say is to be really gentle on yourself and really don't worry about it too much. And instead of setting, 20 really crazy goals that is just never gonna happen because you're not gonna change your life like that. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. Focus on activities that contribute to the goal or the outcome that you want to achieve. So instead of me just writing a list saying, I want to read more books, I've gone and set up a book club with my girlfriends to hopefully keep me motivated and keep me reading. And it's the same with the concept of joy and feeling joyful. Instead of just saying, I'm going to be joyful and then feeling really shit all day, then being angry at yourself for not being joyful, I've got to think, what makes me feel joy? Well, I love spending time with my dog, spending time with my boyfriend, going surfing, working out, making yummy food, and then look at that and focus on those kind of things. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions or comments or any actually great videos that have helped you for your intention setting and your resolutions, put them in the comments below because I'd love to watch them and I'd love to pass them on to all of you guys as well, because it's a great space to share. Anyway, I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and I'm very excited to continue to share this journey with you guys in 2020.